Alright, so the next quick subtopic that I want to cover is how we come up with a DTFT representation for periodic discrete time signals. So remember, so far we've talked about aperiodic discrete time signals, but if we can also cover periodic discrete time signals within the DTFT framework, that gives us a unified framework for working with all discrete time signals. This is, remember, an exercise that we have already done in the context of the continuous time Fourier transform. In the case of the continuous time Fourier transform, we talked about how the Fourier transform representation would arise for periodic continuous time signals. Now we want to do the same thing with discrete periodic signals. So DTFT representation of periodic discrete time signals. Okay, so I have a signal xn. This fellow is periodic with period, let's say, capital N. Now, this guy already has a discrete time Fourier series representation of this form. This is something that we've studied already. It's summation ak e raised to j k 2 pi by capital N times n. So this is a linear combination of phasors whose frequency is some multiple of 2 pi by capital N, which you can think of as the fundamental frequency of the signal, right? And because of the inherent properties of discrete time phasors, it turns out there are only capital N distinct phasors whose frequency is some integer multiple of 2 pi by capital N, right? So this summation is essentially just a finite summation which we have represented in this way. You can think of it as summation k running from 0 to capital N minus 1, 1 to capital N, or in general over any contiguous capital N distinct integers, right? So this is a representation that I already know. What I want is a representation of the signal in this form. I want to express this as a summation, as an integral, 1 by 2 pi times the integral from 0 to 2 pi of x of omega e raised to j omega n. Right? So the question now becomes, what should the representation capital X of omega be, such that with that representation you are basically able to recover the original summation based representation, right? This is natural, this should be natural to many of you. This is essentially just a reuse of the same ideas that we used in the case of the continuous time Fourier transform, namely that this DTFT would essentially have impulses at all of those omegas which show up in this summation, right? So the goal will just be to write. So again, I invite you to stare at this for a little time and convince yourself that x of omega will in fact have this form. It would have a 2 pi leading factor to cancel out the 1 by 2 pi sitting outside, times a summation of ak. Now ak is the strength of an impulse which is located at k times 2 pi by n. So delta of omega minus k times 2 pi by capital N. Okay, so this is my representation. Now this representation really also runs all the way from minus infinity to infinity. Right? So if you stare at this, you will realize that the fact that these AKs are periodic with period n will ensure that this guy is periodic with period 2 pi. Okay, so when it comes to discrete time periodic signals, their spectrum is basically an impulse train in the frequency domain, where the impulses are separated by the fundamental frequency 2 pi by capital N. So you have an impulse at every k times 2 pi by capital N, alright? And the strength of these impulses, the intensities of these impulses would just be 2 pi times the discrete time Fourier series coefficients that we have already studied. Okay, so with this you basically have a unified representation of all discrete time signals in terms of their spectrum, namely the discrete time Fourier transform. Alright, so we'll conclude this video here, and in the next we will go on to understanding properties of the discrete time Fourier transform.